Alright, guys, I say we get the hell in this courtroom and we start going over what we're going to discuss today. There have been a few changes, there have been a few additions, and I will get over it. Not get over it, I will discuss it. I'm, by the way, already in court. Wig looking good as ever. Looks so natural. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Wait, which hand is it supposed to be? Thank you, God, for these beautiful 50 states you've given us. I really appreciate it. Amen. I guess. Alright, let me see, I got the audio here. So, basically, guys, today we've got a, first of all, happy birthday, Steve. I think that was a couple weeks ago, but you know, hope you had a good one. First order of business, cracking the sparkling water. Today we've got Raz Cranberry, which is a mixture of probably cranberry and something. Not sure entirely what yet. Entering koozie mode. Keep this thing chill for many hours to come. No, we're not. You guys stop with the commands. I gotta explain some stuff first. And it's not like it's gonna be time sensitive. You'll have plenty of time. It's not the first person to type the command. It's gonna be picking randomly from people who have typed the command. We have to hurry. All right. Anyway, what was I doing? Okay. Like I said, I attempted to get the AI to come up with a couple just to see what it would do, and guys, it was garbage. It just gave me a lot of crap. Like, I highlighted some good ones. If a dog wore pants, would it be able to bark? Is what this stupid AI came up with. You know, I could think about it for a little bit and maybe think of some reasons why not. Like maybe if he had the pants, if he put them on in a weird way, like where he stuffed them in his mouth or something. But not entirely sure what they were thinking with this one. This is AI generated. Could you find the world's most delicious donut without leaving your seat? Ask yourself that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Could you find the world's most delicious donut without leaving your seat? That's a question for the ages. We could debate for probably a century and not get to the bottom of that one. These are bad ones. I know, that's the point. I'm not using any of these. These are all AI generated and they suck, but they're goofy because they're so bad. We have, could you create a time machine using only paper clips and rubber bands? AI, obviously, you put a monkey in a room with a typewriter and it would eventually make a time machine or whatever. We had I'm telling you guys, the ones that this AI came up with are just so stupid. Could you make a cupcake out of a carrot and a piece of string? Maybe. So let's see. Could you turn a glass of water into a hot chocolate simply by staring at it? Could you make a delicious dinner using only a box? Could you train a carrot to bark? And then, could you unboil an egg? So, those are all AI generated, mostly crap, but they did have a couple that were actually kind of like, okay. They had, could you make $1 million from a single penny? And could you bake a cake using only moonlight? I'm not going to be using any of these AI generated ones, but they exist. There Then we had, I didn't look super long for viewer suggested ones, but I did see a few. Spookinator said, would it be okay to eat a burger you found in the sewer if it was wrapped all nice in a bag? And I think that's from Tomato's stream. I think Tomato had some, like, debate about this. Is that true? Okay, guys. So basically, I've been linked an article that gets to the bottom of that question that has been burning your mind since I asked it. Scientists have found a way to unboil eggs, and it could be a lifesaver. So that's good. We don't even have to debate that one. God, this wig's itchy. I mean, my hair is itchy. We have also, Welton said, this one, dude, I like this one. I think we might use this one. Welton said, should Sasquatches born in the US be able to run for president? And, you know, I didn't immediately say no. Because why wouldn't he? Why shouldn't he be able to? If we, I don't know, maybe find him a tie, get a microphone in his hand. We said, Oatman suggested, should we fill the entire Grand Canyon with cement? And I like that this one is so open-ended because there's not even a reason. It's just, should we do it? Could we? I think that's another question. That's a lot of cement. Yeah, how deep is the Grand Canyon? It's probably pretty deep. How to kill the environment as fast as possible? Would that kill the environment? Anything live down there? In that trench? Not the trench, that canyon. Me? Wow, a fair few of you live down in the Grand Canyon. Guys, I don't even know where the hell the Grand Canyon is, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Arkansas, maybe? I'm just kidding. I know it's not Arkansas, but I don't know where it is. Arizona. Well, there you have it. No, I don't know much about geography. Oh, this sparkling water is already kicking in. I feel these burps coming. I'm gonna try to mask them as much as I can today, so. Alright, we also had, Lieutenant Cupcake said, are there more eyes or legs in the animal kingdom? Which I thought, actually, like, thinking about it, there's a lot of spiders out there. A lot of legs easily. You still got the plastic hammer? Oh, you better believe I got the plastic hammer. This thing has not left my sight since last debate stream. I sleep with this thing. But mostly for home defense. Someone breaks in, I bop them on the head. Okay, we also had... I think we'll just get into it today. Oh, wait, I gotta explain the next little thing that we're doing, what's different about today. So, basically, my mods are going to be selecting good chat messages that you guys put as members of the jury. So if you got, like, say we're debating, like, someone said, like, before, could you cartwheel for a mile without stopping for more than 15 seconds, right? So say someone's like, oh, well, you would get so dizzy and you would fall over. And we're debating that for a while, and then we start running out of steam. Then a mod will pull a counterpoint from chat. Something that you guys have said, some random good counterpoint or like talking point. And then we'll be able to debate it a little bit. So it's going to be, I think, a little more focused on like, we'll just see how it goes. Did that for a couple reasons, because we realized that putting people on the spot first of all, the way it worked beforehand is it just pulled a random member of chat, which that made it hard because it was like people weren't expecting to go up there and they weren't ready to say anything. And then, so now there's a command. You type !justice whenever the thing is up. And that puts you in the, like, in the drawing. It's really funny to throw a random guy up there, though. I think, in theory, that's funny. But, not in practice. A random guy just going up there does... they're not expecting to participate. So now... it's still going to be a random guy. It's just going to be a random guy who wants to go up there. Oh, and apparently, guys, it's Mod Appreciation Day. Guys, please a big round of applause for the beautiful moderators in this goddamn hellhole. Is this a nationally recognized holiday? Do mods get to, like, not work today? All right, let's also, real quick, I want to test the say command. This is only available to one person in my chat. So if you type it, it will time you out. Prowler, type say and then hello and see if it'll pop up. Try it one more time. I see it right. Okay, it might not be working because I think... Oh my god. Why did she say it like that? That struck... God damn it. That struck fear into my heart, dude. Oh my god. I thought someone like broke into my house and was like standing at my door over there. It was like, oh. All right, let's get started. So, thinking about which one I want to start with. You know, let's do $1 million butt question. I was kind of hesitant to do this last stream, but I'm curious. Let's just see how it goes. This one's a little ridiculous. Would you take $1 million, but you have to slap every baby you see for the rest of your life? Exclamation yes, exclamation no. All right. Oh yeah, and Wednesday added a thing now to show like the current standing here as well. Lots of baby slappers in the chat. Whoa, my god, guys. I think you're not fully anticipating, first of all, how frequently you'll see a baby, and second of all, how much jail time you might get for slapping one on the head. No.
Slap them babies.
Oh my god, we've got a very big split here. Look at the posting the slapping cat emote.
1 million isn't enough for the legal fees, brah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, dude. I feel like you have... And see, you could go the route of trying to maybe just not ever see a baby again. But, geez Louise, I think that'd be hard. What happens if you're like watching TV and there's like a Pampers commercial? Do you then have to like hunt down?
Enough to get to a nice island. What if I have a kid one day? I would slap my child every day he woke up.
And that's the tragic reality of these type of questions, ladies and gentlemen. I think a lot of people aren't considering that this would be life-ruining for a lot of people. Yeah, you could just... I saw somebody say you could just adopt and have, like, you know, adopt when they're past the baby age so you wouldn't have to slap them. I do think that is a good point. Let's test out
also,
the...
would I have to slap baby animals too?
Guys, what do you think of the jury? Should they have to slap baby animals? Would that count?
Just slap one kid and run.
Slap one kid and run? That's not the question, my friend. Or did you misunderstand? It's every baby you see. So baby animals wouldn't count? Wait, guys, say yes or no, and I'll just look at the thing at the bottom. Should baby animals count? I
No.
can't. Oh, you hush you. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say baby animals would not count.
How hard do I have to slap these babies?
I'm gonna say, guys, I don't think it would be a super easy slap. I mean, you might find every once in a while a tough baby that could probably withstand a slapping without, you know, so much of a tear being shed, but I will say, I think you gotta slap it with a little force. I mean, you can't, like, you know, I don't think that would count. It may be something like, maybe one of those. No, that's still pretty, I feel like that could be passed off as like, oh, I was just, like, grabbing his cheek.
What if the babies unite together against me? Then I have a 1,000 babies versus me situation.
That is true, guys. You piss off the wrong baby, then all of a sudden you've got 1,000 babies after you. You've got 1,000 babies in the room with you, and we've already sort of determined how that would go. I don't really quite remember if we decided you could beat the 1,000 toddlers, but I think the babies are different. I think babies are so slow and kind of dumb. And, you know, by the end of the hour, it will be nap time. 1 mil is 1 mil easy payday. I just do not think, from my years of being a judge and my experience and the schooling that I went through, I don't think the legal fees that might come up from slapping a little baby will be covered by that mil. Yeah, you get a fat million, but at the same time, you get a fat prison sentence if you slap the wrong baby. I don't see babies often, if ever, says someone. All right, guys, I'm going to bring up a couple new people. And let's see, do mods have any good points or talking points from the jury? Krusty Crusader and Apple Spider, welcome. Hello. Good evening to both of you. Welcome to the zone. Someone just said I would do it for free. You've got...
Hot
Oh,
Salad
hi.
324 says, do you have to keep slapping the same baby?
I would say so. I would say, like, say you walk in the kitchen and your little nephew's sitting there in his high chair. That'd be a slap. And then say you know, go back to your room. You come back, your little nephew's still sitting there because you forgot your drink. I think that would probably be another slap. I don't think...
Just live without somewhere off the grid and donate the money.
Yeah, but then you're not covered. That's not a very sound plan, because then say someone comes up and says, like, you slapped my baby back in 2023, then you've got no money. And you're also probably gonna be pretty bored up there. Apple Spider and Krusty Crusader, I'd like to ask, do either of you see babies frequently? I can't think of the last time I really saw a baby. Nope, I can, guys. I was walking into, I think it was Lowe's or Home Depot or something. I saw a little baby in the carriage. And I'm trying to put myself in those shoes.
No, not really.
But the babies that you did see. What the hell was a baby doing in Lowe's? I don't know, building a crib? I don't know what he was doing. I mean, his parents were probably up to something.
Only at the mall.
Yeah, so guys, I think this brings up an interesting point. I think the amount of times that you could go out and enjoy your life would be significantly cut down. Because all of a sudden, you're going to have to be fearful for every single potential baby. Like, I mean, I will say, I would argue that if you had, like, if you saw a baby carriage, you could just shut your eyes, you know. But what happens? Guys, I can picture it right now, crystal clear, clear as day. You turn, you see a baby carriage, you start to look away, but there you see it. Little foot, little sock, little chubby foot.
Or any other type of caretaker.
A lot of jobs would possibly be, you know, you would not have a job anymore.
$3 blindfold.
$3 blind. You're gonna wear a blindfold the rest of your life. I don't think that's a sound option at all. That does gouge out my eyes.
What about photos?
Yeah, dude, I mean, if you saw a photo of, like, someone's baby, I think you would probably have to go hunt the thing down and see if it's an old photo. Maybe they would probably be, like, 25 or 26 these days, but you'd still, I mean, that would be a slap. I think a lot of your life would be kind of set up to be hunting these babies down and slapping them. That's stupid. I don't make the rules.
Funny baby videos? No more of that.
Consider it. All those videos of, like, the baby, I don't know, like, a cat jumps up and, like, knocks a baby over and they fall down. No more. The simple joys of life of watching, like, a little baby sneeze video, gone. Babies aren't funny. They're kind of cute. Yeah, you couldn't use the internet at all. Okay, I will say, I've been seeing... I would give you this point, because I do agree, cats are better than babies. But, overruled, because of account of the fact that it has nothing to do with the question.
D.
Alright, guys, thank you for your contribution. I'm going to get some more people up here, see what they think. So far, the split, it is sort of evening out. No and yes. We're a little bit more even.
Bye.
Bye. Alright, we've got... Katorsgatos and Alexander the Not So Great 3. Welcome, guys. Any talking points from the jury?
Arctic Stinky Garlic says, what if I saw a baby photo of myself? I wrote on Just Ice.
Oh, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Not So Great. Try to just switch teams to yes and then switch teams to no. Sorry. I don't know why I brought you up here if you wrote that. Yeah, if you saw a baby photo of yourself, I mean, that would just be self-inflicted. I feel like you could probably avoid pictures of yourself. Schmungus, welcome. So, we've got...
You.
What up? Yeah, I would say you have to hit yourself just because that's pretty you can avoid that. But then at the same time, guys, it probably is not fair or realistic to have you hunt down the babies that you see on television or on YouTube, or if you, like, because then at that point, where do we draw the line? Because then if you think about a baby, you'd probably have to go try to find them when you thought about...
I argue that maybe an image is an emulation of a baby rather than a baby in and of itself.
An image is an emulation of a baby rather than a baby. See, I think that's a good point.
Shut.
Hey! Respect each other in this courtroom. Do not tell people to shut. Okay, that is a very good point, guys. I think I agree with that. A picture or a video of a baby is not a baby. That's just a couple pixels on the screen. What if it's a baby doll? I mean, there's just no...
What if
Sure.
you go out and there's a field trip and you have to slap the tots around?
Yeah. Depending on your current point in life, some of you might be in elementary school and still go on school field trips. Well, I mean, that could be said about anything, pretty much. I mean, you could go... I mean, it just depends on who you are. Like, I don't go on field trips, but I do go to Walmart. Oh, but if you... Dude, what if you, like, pass by a daycare and there were, like, 50 babies out there, like walking around and falling and, like, I don't know.
Walmart field trip.
Yeah, if the field trip was at Walmart, you'd probably see a bunch of babies, too. I don't know, dude. That would be pretty hard to deal with.
That's what I'm saying.
It is possible to become a hermit worst case scenario.
But that's another interesting point. Would you give up everything? People who say yes. People who say you would take $1 million, but you have to slap every baby that you see for the rest of your life. You would give up everything?
You wouldn't be able to enjoy the million.
Yes, what are you going to do with that milli? What are you going to do with that fat milli? What, are you going to sit there?
Yeah, I'm pretty lazy.
I will say, though, being like a hermit doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be a, like, bachelor hermit who has, like, a fancy little house. Because, yeah, with $1 million, you could probably buy a cool little house. And then you just, you know what, DoorDash. But what if there's a baby working at DoorDash? You open the door to get your little chalupa. Little 1 foot tall baby sitting there holding the bag.
You get fired.
Exactly. Then that just goes...
Oh, God.
Career over.
I feel like if you had to go this route, there would most likely be a lot less going out. Because, guys, that's seriously life ruining. You go up and slap someone's baby, they're not going to be happy. They're going to be pretty pissed. Alright, looks like Prowler has some good conversation points. Guys, I want you, Kators, Gatos, and Schmungus to listen closely here. Here's your next talking point.
Appleberry says, turn it into a business and slap the babies and parents who can't deal with them. Easy extra money to pay for legal fees of kids you didn't get paid for slapping.
Okay. Now, guys, what do you say about that? A baby slapping business. No, guys, I really do think you'd probably... That would... I think if it was just sort of...
Gotta love an efficient society.
I gotta agree. I think you would probably get... You'd draw attention to yourself. If you had a baby slapping business, like, your kid misbehaving, I'll slap him. Bring him here. That wouldn't be a good way to mask it. That's like... I don't know. I feel like you would just be drawing so much attention to yourself. Any publicity is good publicity. I just spit. I really hope that didn't show up. Luckily, guys, spit is pretty transparent. It's because I've been drinking so much of this damn thing. You could just slap the hand. To people thinking that, I want to clarify. You've got to open palm, slap this baby in the face. Guys, thank you for your input. I'm going to bring a couple more people up here.
Thanks.
Thanks. We've got Karsten Alpha and Noob Slayer. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Can I tell them why I'm slapping their babies? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna
legalize baby slapping.
Now that's a good point. What if with your $1 million you use it to make a new law, you pay someone off and say, well then there goes first of all your $1 million. You could probably spare a couple $100K.
I don't think $1 million is enough for that.
Yeah. That is true. Okay, really quick, I want to hear...
Make money off the baby slapping.
I mean, you've already got the $1 million. You don't have to make any more money off it at that point. Okay, well, okay. I'll hear you out. What is your money-making method from slapping these babies? What's your plan? How do you possibly flip this into a positive thing? I don't see a future where it is. Someone said energy production. Yeah, maybe put some jumper cables on the baby's brain or something.
Too tired from slapping? We can slap M for you.
And that goes back into the legality of everything. I just don't think a baby slapping business would be able to get out, like, find its footing. I mean, I hear you. I do understand. What about you, Karsten? What is your main reasoning for not wanting to take this deal? Anything in particular that might change people's minds? The yesers?
I don't like hurting people.
And that's a perfectly fine enough answer. I don't like hurting people either. Must let a baby, a damn innocent little baby. Unless I got 1 million, then maybe. Every time I saw one.
There's a lot of demand for slapped babies. Just look at these votes.
I mean, there are a surprising amount of people who seem to be okay with this and think that you wouldn't.
You can just work and get 1 million.
Yeah, guys. So true. Guys, all you out there who want 1 million, just go work. I mean, why take this hypothetical? Just go work, get the 1 million.
Slapping babies is real work.
I mean, if this hypothetical did, you know, come to fruition, then absolutely it would be. Any good points from the jury? Any counterpoints, arguments? There's just so many people that think they would be able...
Jashes the Twitch now says, can I choose to not slap the baby, and what's the penalty? Or am I just physically forced to slap the baby? As in, my body contorts specifically to slap the baby?
I think it would definitely be a forced situation. Does that change any of your guys' minds? Dude, she sounded so, like, panicked. Like, she's, like, got tears coming out her eyes. She's like...
No.
That's a pretty hard debuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you would... I think it would be involuntary. Because otherwise, what's stopping you from just being like, oh, no, I'm not going to slap the baby. No, it's going to be... It's going to be
God.
very...
Slapping babies is my passion.
And you know what? That is frightening. Yeah, I think it'll be an involuntary slap. All right, guys. I'm about ready to move on to the next topic. Let's,
Invited this maniac.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of maniacs here. All right. Final yes or no's. You can change your answer. After hearing what you've heard today, what side do you reside on? Still a lot of yeses. It's surprisingly close. Someone just said baby slapping gloves.
Vote for the right choice.
I made a typo in the question. All of this has been invalidated. You have to slap every baby you see for the rest of Yoru life.
LOL.
Oh my god. How embarrassing. How absolutely humiliating. Alright, well guys. And you know what? I didn't even word this one as like a yes or no, like...
Bye.
Bye guys. I didn't word this one as like a, this was like a would you. So this was, I mean, I'm just learning about people in the chat. Alright. The consensus is no. That's not a good deal. And, I agree with that. I think I agree with that. Because I honestly, I don't think that's a good deal at all. I think your life would be ruined. I'm telling you, you slap one baby, and it's going to be involuntary. You're going to be, it's going to happen without you even realizing it.
Victory in the bag.
You're going to be on your way to Walmart, turn your head, and there you see it, sitting in a stroller, looking at you. stupid baby with like a cookie in his hand. And you gotta...
They put in fake voters.
There's no fake votes. Guys, thank you. Alright. Next question. I really like taking a quick break here to sip on my drink and talk to chat for a sec. I really like the jury shouting out counterpoints. It keeps things going. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's cool. Did you ever get a real gavel? Guys, let's just stop with the, prying into my personal life. No! I didn't get a real gavel. Still got this crappy one. It's hollow. God, I might need to go turn my air down, guys. It's so hot in here with these lights. I'll be right back. Give me a moment to talk amongst yourselves. Oh no, my cat came in. My cat came in and guys, she's not staying in. She's too evil. Show her? I already got her out, guys, I'm sorry. She's a little evil bastard. She can't be trusted to be in here. What is your cat's opinion? I think she would slap the babies because she would slap anyone. She does not care. She's evil. Alright, let's see what else we got. Now, we could debate about the vampire poop question, but I really I don't know if that's a good call, guys. No. Something else. You're right. We've talked about this too much in the past, and it's just this is gonna rehash old wounds. We'll do something else. Alright, let me move this across this one out. Alright. Alright, guys, I'm gonna cross that one out too. Alright, we'll do this one. This one was suggested by Muelton, and dude, I like this one a lot. This is just dumb. Should Sasquatches born in the US be able to run for president? Begin voting.
Wait.
Yeah. You! Lots of yeses. And see? Wow, this might be the biggest yes we've ever seen. We might have a very small group of no's who we're trying to convince here. Wow. That's beautiful. Why would anyone say no? I know. Small Figs, you're a member of no.
If a prisoner can run for president, so can a Sasquatch.
Yeah. I am just kind of... Like, what kind of laws would he pass? There's so much to discuss here. Small Figs, you're a member of Team No. You don't think a Sasquatch should be able to run for president?
My point is that every Sasquatch is being hunted by the IRS for tax evasion.
That is true. I don't imagine a Sasquatch pays taxes. And you know what? They might have to answer for some, like, crimes for, like, eating people. Do Sasquatches eat people?
Sasquatches don't have incomes.
That is true.
That's why no one can get a good picture.
You say Sasquatches are hunted for not paying taxes, but why would they pay taxes? They don't have income. All their possessions is like a stick and berries, dude. Couple leaves in the woods. I mean, they might have like...
Eating people is a myth that was busted in RDR1.
There you have it. Red Dead Redemption 1 proved it long ago. Sasquatches don't eat people. Okay, I'm gonna see from other people's perspectives here. Small Figs, anything else you want to add? Why should a Sasquatch not...
That's a great point, but if they can't get an income, what makes them qualified for president?
What makes them not qualified for president, Small Figs? You're the one who thinks they shouldn't. Why would a Sasquatch not be a great president? This would be so cool. We would finally get to know...
U.S. citizen and 35 years of age.
That's all it takes. And I looked this up. You gotta live in the U.S. for 14 years. I say we go out, we find a Sasquatch, we get him a law degree, or what do they need to be president?
I am one.
You're a Sasquatch?
To be honest, I've never met a Sasquatch.
The clap. Look at the clap.
I will run for president thanks to the support.
This is heartwarming. This is very exciting. Alright. Small Figs. I'm gonna let somebody from Team No come up and see if they can convince us that we shouldn't have this Sasquatch.
Completely defeated. Vote for general.
Can we stop trying to persuade the voters here? Bug tries his best. You do not think a Sasquatch should run for president. Can you maybe fill us in a little bit? And then we'll take a question from the jury in a second. Admitted he was wrong. Guys, any idea, members of the jury, what the, how long...
Birth certificate?
Birth certificate. That is very true, now that you mention it, because a Sasquatch is kind of similar to, like, a...
Is there proof that they were born in the U.S.?
Like a deer or something. You know? Like, I don't think a deer could run for president.
We have documentation written on leaves.
Sasquatch Society has this covered, Bug tries his best. It may not be a official U.S. birth certificate, but it could be translated. It could be turned into an official document. Some smart person who knows how to read could look at it and jot it down in the correct format. That's forgery? Can we get a...
Will the U.S. government accept such a leave certificate?
I think it would be cool not to.
I will centralize the documentation for all species in the U.S.
Look at that. And we already have our Sasquatch president looking to make plays in the big White House. And then eventually maybe we'll have a porcupine in the White House. We'll get like a... I don't know. Maybe we could have like... over the hedge. There'd be little animals running around doing stuff. They'd like live with us and like be having jobs and stuff. Oh my god. Or Zootopia. Not Over the Hedge. No, Zootopia, I think. I haven't seen that movie. But I have seen Over the Hedge, which is probably why... Alright. Guys, let's hear what the jury thinks. Apparently they've got a few,
You're not saying they shouldn't, but what's next to dog
Native
for president?
Americans weren't U.S.
Chloe says,
citizens, and
have
that
they
was
been
wrong.
offered a birth certificate?
Denying Sasquatch
Are they not able to
There's
get
someone-
one because we view them as monsters?
Are we not able to... Are we not able to view... What? There was so much of...
Chloe says, have they been offered a birth certificate? Are they not able to get one because we view them as monsters?
That is true. That is true. So now here's the thing. Why do they not have a birth certificate? It's because we're afraid to go in the woods and get eaten alive by them. And what I have to say about that is why not go try to make communication? Go try to give them a birth certificate and not just, like, be scared.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What constitutes a human? Comparing Native Americans to Sasquatches is borderline disrespectful.
Okay, nothing weird, guys, or I'll
We
be
must come together.
I'll be hammer slamming you.
We must fight the skinwalkers.
The skinwalkers. The existence of Sasquatch also now makes me wonder about other creatures. And I gotta say, I don't think I would want a skinwalker president.
They exist. They are scary.
Okay. This throws a whole wrench into the equation, guys. Yeah, because then that means...
Ate my brother Unga last month.
Not Unga. That's so sad. I think you've got the sympathy of the voters. A sob story like that will sure to get people to vote for you. I'm so sorry about your little Sasquatch brother. Alright guys, I'm gonna get some new people up here. God bless you, you Sasquatch.
My condolences.
Any, what we got? Wizard Vomit and the Crying Cat. Welcome. Got Crying Cat. You're one of a very few who don't think that Sasquatch should be able to run for the president. Why? I like to at least hear from like where their head's at, where they're coming from.
Do they even speak English?
I don't think that matters. Because surely there's a guy who knows how to speak both, like, Sasquatch language and English. And I think he would be very neat. That's what I'm saying. You get a Sasquatch in the room with me, and I would have so many questions. General just talked to us.
Imagine him in his little suit.
Oh my god, and he would be like sitting in his little chair and signing documents. Man. Any,
And his flag pin.
God, what if he, like, made some cool rules where, like, I don't know, like, maybe change the United States flag to be, like, I don't know, have, like, a Bigfoot head on it or something cool. Jury, any counterpoints? Points?
footprint.
Fatherless_Ash says, Your Honor, is the Loch Ness Monster allowed to run?
I think I just got out
No.
fast.
So why should this beast?
Why should this beast? This beast? First of all, watch your disrespectful language in this courtroom.
Objection.
Second of all, I'm on it, don't you worry.
Mr. Beast.
We're not talking about the Loch Ness Monster. That's a different argument. We're not saying, could all mythical creatures run? That would have to be a debate for another time. We don't know if the Loch Ness Monster is Scottish or British or something too. I think that, you know, the rules for being the president, it says very clearly you got to be born in the US, live here for a few years, and be 35 or older. So, there's your answer, sweet member of the jury. Would the Loch Ness Monster be able to run? No. The reason...
Shaking his hand, it would be so cool.
I know! Oh my god, can you imagine waiting outside the White House for a meet and greet? And you go up and you shake his big hand and it's like, it looks like this. And my hand's like this. That'd be so cute. But what if he ripped my arms off? Alright, I'm gonna get some more members of Team No up here.
I think it would be scary. What if he eats a baby?
Oh. Team No slowly getting more members. The people change it over to Team No. Oh my god. That's a very good point.
Baby eating is a harmful stereotype.
All right.
Is it though? Guys, I do think
No.
I do think Bigfoot might probably... Remember, it was proved wrong in Red Dead Redemption 1. But is that like a scientific textbook? Or is that like... Would that hold up in court? Well, I guess I decide that right here and right now. Yes.
I believe that their views are just so much different than ours.
Yeah, because then they might start enacting laws about, like... I don't know. What do Bigfoots even do, dude?
Pit bulls eat more
They
babies in a year than
prioritize like
Sasquatch
eating
has
berries
eaten in
or
their
like
entire
mushrooms,
lifetime.
not running a country.
Yeah, they are a simple bunch, the Sasquatches. They kind of keep to themselves and just hang out in the woods.
Nene Killa says, like 20% of the chat was ready to eat a baby last question. We can't judge that.
That is a good point. I think you bringing up babies and trying to make people feel sympathy, they're lying.
Yeah, what he said.
They're lying. All right? These people don't have sympathy for babies. They would slap one for $1 million. Let's just not even entertain that idea. It is a good point that Sasquatch... My god, did you see that fish broke through the glass? Where did he go? Whoa. Oh my god. Everybody alright?
D.
Jeez Louise. Oh, I like that the text is backwards if you're behind him. Alright, guys, I'm about ready to make my,
Their own country or society that's super cool, and the S can help them along their journey.
They make their own country or society? But I think the implication is that they would want to be president.
Sasboat_ says, how do we know if Sasquatches haven't already been president? Think of like Abe Lincoln. He was a tally hairy dude. What if he was just a squatch that shaved? I think we should welcome them with open arms.
You do bring up a good point. I would argue we probably have had a Sasquatch president or two. And I don't think it's very polite.
That's probably why they shot Abe.
Oh my God. It's all coming together. It is all making sense in this courtroom today. I think Sasquatch is out there. And he wants to run for president. And he maybe has got some buddies who have in the past. All right. I think I'm about ready to make my call. Jury, were there any more points that we needed to hear about? Anything that might change the people's mind here?
Hot Rod Joey says Abe Lincoln or Abe Lincoln.
Could Coco the gorilla that could speak sign language run for president? Do Sasquatches even know what Congress is?
Coco the gorilla? You're comparing Sasquatch, one of the most intelligentest animals, creatures. They're loving, they're kind. You're comparing it to a gorilla?
King Gov Nasty says, if a dog can be a mayor, a Sasquatch can be president. Do any of our presidents know what Congress is? Let's be honest.
Amen. A lot of good points being made in rapid succession here. Animals have... Someone just said animals have had roles in the Congress or something? Guys, I think I'm ready to make my point. Or my decision. Any other good points we need to hear about? Or are we ready to call this thing? Sasquatches can't be in a picture.
Magnetite Teeter says, Sasquatches have created many jobs in the vein of Sasquatch hunters, Sasquatch researchers, Sasquatch artists, and vendors selling Sasquatch merchandise.
That is true. I think Sasquatches have done a lot for the society. And it's about goddamn time, sorry Lord, that we let these little guys run for presidency. That has nothing to do with presidency.
Amen.
Oh. Wait, how tall is a Sasquatch? Members of the jury, can we get a measurement about how tall a Sasquatch might be? This doesn't change anything. Abe Lincoln height. How tall was Abe Lincoln?
20 feet.
20? You're making that up. Guys, Abe was 6'4". Maybe Abe was a little Sasquatch. Guys. Should Sasquatch run for president? Yes. I think if he came forward and wanted to, I think absolutely. The jury has spoken. Look at the numbers. They don't lie. And there are those frozen clap.
And I think he'd win.
And I think he would. Guys, get to the polls. Vote Sasquatch. Thank you for your participation. What's in the, actually brought some other people up here. Whoops. Wait, that was Schmungus again? Whoops. Yeah, we had a resounding 453 to 170. That was probably the biggest one we've seen so far. All right, let's refer to the notes here. Let's see what our next topic will be. Why does your drink have a face on it? It's me. With a cigarette in my tooth. Where can I cop? I went to Amazon and I went to I typed like koozie maker and I gave them an image and they printed it up. Let's see what we got here. Thank you guys for the subs and bits. Permission to approach the bench. Denied. Creepy. Dude, imagine all these people, like, imagine if there was a debate going on and all these creepy little people were in chat, like, can I come say something? And the judge is like, creepy? Yeah, kind of creepy. Some of you are probably... I hate this judge, said someone. Guys, you gotta admit, it's kind of creepy. If they were having a debate, if there was like a debate going on, and there were people waiting outside trying to get in to like come talk, you don't think that's kind of creepy?
Thanks for subscribing, partner.
Let me in, I have some good points. All right, let me decide what we're doing next. We've got... First, let me scratch this Sasquatch one off the list. God. Man, what a good... What a good thought. Sasquatch is president. I really hope we can get that to happen one day. What does the court command even do? It gives more info about what's going on for people who don't know. We're not having debates, we're changing laws. Oh, we'll get to some other stuff. Let me look at what we got. It's hard also to think of stuff that would be a good argument. I have one that I think will be interesting to discuss. Could you get to space if given 6 months? I think that one could be good. I mean, I've got a massive list here. I'm just trying to decide which one. A lot of no's. Yeah, I don't think I could, dude. And survive? I mean... Yeah. Alright, we have... Could you survive a year with the hiccups? That one could be good. I also like the ones about, like, resizing people. Like the tiny people, dude, it's so fun to think about like a tiny little dude. There's a guy who did that for a decade? Got tiny? Or went to space? Or had the hiccups? What were we talking about? There are people who have permanent hiccups? Really? Oh. Would you shrink your head by 20% for $1 million? I'm writing that one down, dude. That one's actually... You guys want to debate that one? I think there could be a lot of good discussion surrounding that. How do you debate that? I don't know. That's like, this is kind of like a would you rather. That's not like getting to the... Yeah, you can already do that. Choking would be a major issue. Yeah, you couldn't eat like anything, dude. You'd have to make your food all so small. How would we word this? Yeah, it would make it so much harder to swallow a golf ball, too. I think, okay, before we get into another ridiculous one, we need to do something that's gonna have, like, an actual, like, yes or no answer. Like, not just would you want to do this. That's an opinion. We need to debate something that's gonna be a definite yes or no. Like, is it possible? You're just scared? No, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. God, I'm on the verge of doing the mouse-sized person. Opening the refrigerator. We could have put that one to bed, dude. We could actually put that one to bed. No? But listen, every time we've debated it in the past, it hasn't been scientific. You did that one last time? No, I didn't. I said, could you survive a year shrunken down to the size of a peanut? You argued that for hours on stream. Please don't. I know I did. I know, but it's so fun to argue about. Could you be a big streamer while also missing your lateral incisor? Incisor? Guys, what the hell's a lateral incisor? Are werewolves or vampires more dangerous? Says chicken. That one could be good. Let's do that. Is a werewolf or a vampire more dangerous? Werewolf? Vampire. All right. Let your voices be heard. Team werewolf or team vampire? Ooh, this is a pretty even split so far. Exclamation werewolf or exclamation vampire? If you've got an opinion, exclamation justice. Otherwise, see you in the jury. Man, this one's so evenly split. This is nuts.
Vampires can hypnotize people.
Vampires can hypnotize people. While true, I think werewolves can do a whole lot of damage on their own as well. Let's give it a minute. First of all, welcome Atlas and Ping of Muffins. Welcome, guys. Make yourselves at home. Feel free to have a slice of pizza. Feel free to drink some of that like water that's on your desk there, or don't. I mean, just stand there if you want. We're gonna let chat keep voting.
Vampires aren't that dangerous at all. We hardly do anything.
Well, that might. We? Guys, I don't know if you can tell, but my hand is shaking like crazy right now. That freaked me out. Maybe a typo.
I mean, werewolves are dangerous beasts, guys.
Yeah, I do think as far as... Here's the issue that I'm seeing. While vampires...
You need silver to get rid of them.
We have to decide if we're thinking of it one of two ways. Are we thinking there's a vampire that lives in my village, and there's also a werewolf that lives in my village? Or are we thinking werewolf, full moon, vampire, and you're in a room with each of them? Which way should we think about it? I think we should go to living in your village. Because if they're in the room, that changes things to be a lot more... I think lives in the village. Okay, guys, for this hypothetical, there is a vampire living somewhere in your village, and there is a werewolf living somewhere in your village. And I think the thing about it is a werewolf, they just go on the full moon. They turn into a little beast. Vampires are kind of every night type of situation. Unless maybe you lived in like that place where the sun doesn't set. But I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say you live in a place that has a normal day-night cycle, like Minecraft.
Werewolves are only dangerous on a full moon. Vampires are dangerous all month.
And your response, Ping of Muffins? Because that is a great point. Vampires will only bother you every single night of your life. A vampire, they can go nuts all the time, but a werewolf is just a little dude for most nights.
What is a vampire going to do? We only take a little bit of blood. Werewolves kill people.
Guys, well, good point, Ping of Muffins. I gotta, there's something I have to do over here. Guys, I think, I'm not certain, but I think something's fishy about this guy.
Okay, take your time.
Oh shit!
Hey, that pizza doesn't have garlic, does it?
Why, you don't like garlic? Not a big fan? Atlas,
Not a big fan.
Atlas, anything else you want to bring to the table? Maybe we hear from the jury a little bit. Lots of people, I think that bringing up the point that they come up every night versus every full moon has changed a lot of people's minds. It was pretty even.
Hey, Judge, did the lawyers provide their dental records? You know, like we always ask.
Yeah, that is true. We are a big fan here of finding out if people have like all their teeth, and just because sometimes we don't, like me. Jury, was there any...
Of course I provided my dental records.
Yeah, we didn't get anything from Ping of Muffins. Ping, you mind if I come take a look inside your mouth? Just for, I mean, it's pretty mandatory. We do it, that's how we do most things around here. It's just a formality type thing.
My teeth are totally normal, no need to check.
Okay.
Let's talk about the matter at hand, guys.
You're right. I don't know what, I'm behaving irrationally.
Trindle says, which lore of vampires are we following? Are they able to turn into bats? Or are they like RuneScape and can turn into mist? How strong are they? There are many different lore versions of vampires.
I'm going to say the vampires in our lore, they can turn into a bat. I'm not sure how that would help them too much, but I'll say sure. I'll say they can turn into a bat, maybe fly around.
Vampires already run the Red Cross.
Now that is another point that I had not thought about, guys. What if vampires are already walking around with everyone? What if vampires are here in our society? I know, I almost slipped up there and said All right, guys, I'm going to bring a couple more lawyers up here. Just get some other points.
That's a harmful stereotype. Just because it's blood?
Bye.
Bye. Ping of Muffins, good luck with whatever you get up to. All right, we got T-Cool Kid and Titan Less QC. Welcome, guys. We've got a member of Team Vampire and Team Werewolf. Any points that you guys want to bring to the table here on this fine evening, or should we ask from the jury? I think also, yeah, like, we have to determine if we're talking about, like, Twilight vampires or...
Vampires can have powers. Werewolves only come out at full moons.
Vampire are a lot easier to kill.
And you say this why? Your Team Werewolf, you think a werewolf is going to be pretty difficult to kill, but what makes you think that you could just easily kill a vampire? Last I checked, most people here are just pretty normal human beings. And I think a vampire being a supernatural killer...
They can turn into bats before you stab their heart with a stake.
Exactly. You start stepping too close to this thing. How are you going to sneak up on a vampire?
You only need a crossbow.
They can smell your blood.
I just think, I don't know, we're really assuming that you're going to be able to take out... This one's tough. Because, like, here's the thing, guys. You put me in a room...
To kill a werewolf, you need a special type of metal bullet.
That is true. Guys, you put me in a room with a vampire and a werewolf, I feel like the werewolf's gonna do so much more damage to me. The werewolf is gonna rip me to shreds. The vampire might be able to be reasoned with, which is, I mean, vampires are sexy, they're kind of hot. They probably, like, want to play with their food a little bit. And you could probably, I don't know, like, seduce them or something. Werewolf, I don't think is gonna be the case. Oh, don't play dumb with me. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Vampires can only come at nighttime, which means many people will be asleep, so vampires can kill you without you realizing it before it's too late.
See, this goes back to the village/room discussion. If we're in a village, if we're in an entire village, I would feel probably safer with a werewolf. But if we're locked in a one-on-one room, a one-on-one confrontation, a battle to the death, then I'm probably going to say I would be more scared of a werewolf.
Vampires are also a lot easier to recognize. Werewolf, in their human form, are identical to normal human.
Yeah, that would be just a hairy dude, I think. Wait, so wait, what do you think? Why do you think you'd be able to recognize a vampire? All they have to do is just close their damn mouth and you don't see the fangs. We had one, I'm pretty sure, right in that seat you're sitting in right now. Just earlier. And you know what? I wasn't sure. I couldn't be certain.
Dental records.
Yeah, but you can't dental record every single damn person.
What if they have the power to look like a normal
Tomany
human
Squirt
with
says
no pale
vampires
skin or
are an
fangs?
existential threat to the human species. They need human blood to thrive, so their very existence poses a risk to our existence. If they get organized, they will turn us into livestock.
Oh my god, there's a movie about that. What's that movie? Chat, someone, what's that movie called? There's a movie where they got people hanging up and they're drinking blood out of them. The Matrix? No, that's a... Yeah, Blade, I think that's what I'm thinking of. Vampires only do what they have to do. Werewolves are violent and uncontrollable. God. Alright, let's hear some more points from the jury. Is a werewolf or a vampire more dangerous?
We could put a lot of garlic in all of our
Vampires
food.
can
That
also
way it
kill
would be easy to
vampires by
see.
draining blood.
Gary_Supreme says, you can put up reasonable vampire prevention defenses, but there's not much you can to prevent werewolves from getting to you.
Yeah, that is a point that I'd like to discuss.
Vampires can kill werewolves by draining their blood.
We're not doing a vampire versus werewolf, I don't think. I think it's more like which is more gonna hurt you, which is more dangerous and sucks to be around the most. And see, say we've got a little house that we're trying to protect from vampires. What do? We string up some garlic. We
could verify people by using a cross.
We hold up a little cross. In fact, I could probably fashion one out of this right here. I could have a cross within the minute. But we've got a werewolf on the scene. What do you do to prevent him from attacking? I think that's a very good point, because vampires have weaknesses that you could like put a stop to them and be like preventative measures. Werewolf, what do? Like, yeah, they only come out of the full moon, but when they do, they're gonna wreak havoc and they're gonna freaking kill all your damn chickens and livestock. They're gonna freaking eat your little cousin. I feel like vampires also, they're a lot more, bless their heart, the little things, they're a lot more sweet about it, I think. Because they, you know, I don't imagine they're like, they don't wanna like go nuts and just kill for fun. I think it's more of like a
ultra strength. They could destroy houses in a matter of minutes.
Oh my god. Look how even this is, 270 to 273. How are we ever gonna get the correct answer here? This is so split. Werewolves do have ultra strength. They could destroy houses in a matter of minutes, much like a tornado. God, that's so tough. Alright, guys, I'm gonna get some more people up here. See if we can get some points that are going to change some minds.
If werewolves are more violent and uncontrollable, then that means vampires have intelligence.
That is another good thing that I think vampires have going for them. They're smart about it. So werewolves, they'll just wander around and just be a whole bastard about it. But you get a vampire with intent, and he knows, like...
What if the answer is a tie?
That is actually a good point. Guys, I think, what if it's just the answer is that they're both equal?
The village is screwed because they have a werewolf and vampire.
Oh my god, it's Hyman Buster. Guys, this is the dude that I don't say his name of. What up, Hyman Buster?
I mean, vampires have a ton of weaknesses. Werewolves just have bullets.
And see, that's another point for Team Werewolf, is that just the simple fact that what's going to stop a werewolf? Dude, you fuck him up. You throw spears at him. You shoot him with a cannonball. You maybe, like, I don't know, make him step on some mouse traps or whatever, and he's just going to keep coming at you. But vampires just have so much going for them. Or so much, you know, weaknesses. I mean, Silver?
The vampires would be more likely to get them to team up on us.
How many people here have access to a silver bullet? Well, werewolves are like the Hulk. I do. Okay, guys, well, we've got one dude with a damn silver bullet. No, you are lying. None of you, all of you have silver bullets. I would wager a bet that maybe at least 6 or 7 have silver bullets. All it takes is one. Not if you hit him in the freaking shoulder. Wait, dude, wait. How... Shit. Do silver bullets have to just touch them anywhere and they die? How does that work? Yes? What, he puts a silver bullet in his mouth and he falls over dead? No, I think you gotta shoot him in the...
Vampires are more dangerous because if they're hot, I'm going to willingly give my soul.
And guys, that might be just unfortunately the way the cookie crumbles. I think a big part of this is gonna be falling into the category of, man, that's such a hot vampire, and maybe it's not so bad if he drinks a little, you know? Werewolves are also hot? Guys, I just had a theory. Okay? I'm going to test something really quick. We're going to end the vote. because we're getting nowhere with this. And we're going to amend this slightly. Who's hotter? A vampire or a werewolf? All right, begin your voting. Okay, this theory's starting to fall apart then. Guys, I was really convinced that a lot of you people were just voting on...
Jesus.
A lot of you people were just voting on who you thought was hottest. But it does appear more people think a vampire's hotter. What if I find neither hot? Then... something's wrong with you.
Vampires are hot.
What a solid argument. Guys, okay. We've got to come up with a solution here.
Werewolves are big fluffy babies.
I don't know, dude. Really, I just Google image search werewolf and I think that's going to be like scary. We don't have to have a full debate about this because I mean this is just personal preference. I mean there is an objectively correct answer, but and it's vampires, but you know what? I'll hit the hammer before any people change their mind. Vampires are hottest. Now that that's out of the way.
Vampires can be muscular.
Oh, do not get the werewolf fans started.
Yes.
The werewolf fans would beg to differ. You think a vampire's muscular? Wait till you see a werewolf.
Bigger and muscular.
They've got muscles. They've got freaking muscles the size of a goddamn football or something.
AWOO.
Okay, no howling in my courtroom. Do not howl in here. God, chat, if I did a vampire cosplay, I would only have one fang. That'd be so embarrassing. No, it's okay. Alright. I think I'm gonna say...
Werewolves have more fangs. Smiley face.
I'm gonna say, getting to the bottom of which is more powerful, the vampire or the werewolf, I'm gonna say it's just a tie for now, guys. We can't come to an honest conclusion. Stop! No writing fanfic in this courtroom. For now, the vampire-werewolf debate is put on hold. Because I honestly think we could do this the entire time.
Werewolves can bite off entire chunks of you.
Guys, we'll have group howling. We'll have a group like vampire werewolf fight in the Discord. I mean, in the offline chat. We'll settle this.
Hiss.
Tonight. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Growl.
What are we doing, dude? I think about that sometimes. What are we doing?
Asterisk bites you.
Ouch! Okay. Ending the vote. Guys, thank you for participating. Okay, come on! Alright, let's look at the questions, what we've got at our disposal today. Let me scratch off the vampire one. All right. Goku versus Charborg? Guys, I would win, I think, because Goku is probably super weak. Dude, that's how you piss off Dragon Ball Z fans. You just tell them, I don't know, you just say like, oh yeah, you know what, I bet Superman could probably beat Goku. And they would just get so pissed. They would get so upset. How do I get in this court? Asks Boone. Right now, it's just random, but I could do a thing. I could set it up to where only my friends could get in, and I make my friends, like, debate about something. That might be super fun. I'll think about that in the future. Alright, guys, any good debate topics you can think of, or should I pull from the list? What would be worse, eyesight delayed by 1 second, or wait, what was that? Man, where did this go? The message is gone. What would, wow, dang it, I missed that message. Where was it? Eyesight delayed by 1 second was like the most interesting thing I've ever heard. I gotta find this. Eyesight delayed by 1 second or hearing delayed by 10 seconds. Which will be worse? That's a good question. I think that could be... I think we could debate about that for a while. As someone with permanent chat delay, the 1 second eyesight. One second, let me write this down just so I don't forget. What would be worse? Eyesight delayed by 1 second. Or hearing delayed by 10 seconds. I like questions like this, dude. I like that. It'd be so hard to drive, dude. Alright, any other questions you guys are thinking before we decide on something? Driving would be a nightmare? Yeah. I wonder if you would legally be able to drive. They'd probably get pretty bad if they found out you were driving like that. The hearing would ruin your social life? Dude! Dude! You'd be sitting there and they'd be like telling you this joke and you're like... And the whole time they're just like... watching you, waiting for you to respond. Oh my god, that would be so hard to do anything with. Oh my god, that'd be so hard. To be constantly 10 seconds behind? No, because it's not being deaf. It's like, it's just, you'd be so behind. Smell being delayed by 10 minutes? Oh no. Dude, smell being delayed by 10 minutes? There'd be a lot of predicaments that come from that. You know what? Let's argue about this one. What would be worse? Eyesight delayed by 1 second or hearing delayed by 10 seconds? Okay, I'm gonna capitalize worse so people know. What would be worse? Eyesight? Hearing. Alright, get your votes in, guys. Which one would be worse? Eyesight delayed by 1 second? or hearing delayed by 10 seconds. Man, the eyesight one being delayed. God, the amount of footballs I would get hit by in the face, probably. Like, when I'm thinking about it, I don't have that situation come up much. But I just feel like I'll be getting hit with so many more footballs in the face. Oh my god, and when it happened, oh my god, when it oh, that's so, I would be so humiliating. It would be like, I'd be sitting there, and I'd be like, oh! And then I see, like, the very avoidable football coming at my face. Oh, that would suck. That would be so annoying. 1 second is so short. I think that's long enough. You get a lot of information visually like that. My god, that scared me so bad, guys. They changed teams.
Eyesight would be objectively worse. Do you know how much we use our sight to do average day-to-day activities? Try to pour a glass of water with a second delay. Gamers die so much with 1 second of delay.
That is true, guys. My competitive CSGO career would be over. Oh my god, and are we debating on if this would be the entirety of society? Will this be the entirety of society or, like, you? Can you imagine all of society being delayed by 1 second?
Hearing, you just can use sign language.
Hello, Court.
Yeah.
Think about that. You hear stuff, second later you see movement.
That is true, but you could also visually see.
Giggle Dripping says, we have seen Charborg play video games. He gets by just fine having his eyesight delayed by a second.
Yeah, guys, that is a good point. I forgot to mention this. I do have both my eyesight and my hearing delayed by a second and 10 seconds respectively. Have I talked about that before? Yeah, guys, it's why I kind of can't respond to things quick.
Just delay yourself.
BS!
I have
BS! Says someone.
Second delay from hearing and eyesight. I died to a zombie before.
Okay, well, there would not be zombies in this hypothetical. I mean, maybe we could do one about apocalypse. God, this wig is itching me like crazy, dude. It's so itchy. Maybe we would do one about zombies in the future, but for now, this is just about the real life. Just to
West_Garbage Day says, you don't need to talk about it. We know.
Okay, come on, man. Are there any points in the chat that aren't insulting me? Jury, let's hear what the jury has to say.
Not Cack, it says.
Delay
What
or
happens
hearing by
if someone
1 second,
scares you from
and
behind?
moving past by 1 second.
What happens if someone scares you from behind? There's gotta be a way to test this, guys. What the heck? I should test this. We should do this where I, like, make a thing to where I see 1 second in the past and I go try to, like, cross traffic. And then also we delay hearing.
Court, imagine you're trying to walk downstairs and you feel pain, then see your body fall down the stairs.
Yeah, that's another point, dude. Well, you'd probably be able to... Oh my god, yeah. Oh, that's so difficult. The amount of cats I would step on, probably. The amount of, like, times I would stub my toe on the coffee table. Imagine a fighting career. I don't think you could do it.
Also, there is a video on delay for driving a car.
We might need to watch this for research purposes.
Imagine try to watch a film or learn something.
Okay, Beholder, I don't think that's a very solid point, because if I'm trying to watch a film... Oh my god, you're right! Oh, if I'm watching, like, Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, and I would be seeing what's happening, and then 10 seconds later I would hear the audio from the past. That would suck, dude. That would be so annoying. Subtitles?
Jump scare.
Yeah, a jump scare. Yeah, movies would be a lot less, like, enjoyable. But I think you could also...
But it doesn't put you in as much of danger.
Exactly, because the question here is which is worse, okay? And I think all that would take is just when you're going to watch a movie, take into Adobe Premiere, drag it, and then the lines. So people with you would be hearing shitty audio, but you could at least still watch movies. I think, okay, we need to, someone in the jury, can you please present me a message about a dangerous situation that you would be put in where both of these would be put to the test? Because driving, I think I could drive without hearing. I don't...
Werewolf attack.
Yeah, guys, have you, you stupid morons, have you even thought about the possibility of a werewolf attack? What happens?
Werewolves growl loudly.
And their reflexes are very fast, so you would be operating at a severe disadvantage if you couldn't see in real time. I think in the situation of a werewolf attack...
We can't live a life looking for one dangerous situation.
You're just wrong and trying to cling to your opinion here. Are you trying to say we shouldn't discuss the many downsides of not hearing 10 seconds too late?
Also, werewolves wouldn't attack me. I'm too cute.
I think a werewolf would attack anything that...
wearing sneakers.
What is this? What does that mean? That would be cool, I guess. All right, I need a member of the jury to give a reason why one of these would be a lot worse.
Sneak.
Oh, shush. Guys, I really think it would be so disorienting to be able to see a second behind. Whereas the audio aspect, you'd probably just be able to get over it and just like start ignoring it eventually.
You confess your love for a loved one, then 10 seconds just lasts.
Then 10 seconds just lasts? Wait, are you saying... No, guys, hear him out. Hear him out. I think they've got a point here. I just have to figure out exactly what it is. You confess your love to a loved one, then 10 seconds just lasts.
Lasts for eternity.
Okay, it would be 10 seconds. I mean, that might put you in some embarrassing situations, but I do think it would be 10 seconds, not an eternity. We might actually need to scientifically test this one, guys, because it's hard to imagine just how bad it would be. You know what I mean? And no, guys, I'm not talking about somebody who can't see. I'm not talking about somebody who can't hear.
Before, sign language would work for hearing.
I'm talking about the disorienting aspect of what each of these would entail. Because it wouldn't be that you're blind. It would be that you were everything you were doing, you're seeing a 1 second behind. Yeah, we gotta like come up with a game or a VR thing to test this. Like have people throw bowling balls at my head in VR and I have to try to like... Yeah, it would be motion sick.
I want to try a 1 second thing game.
5'6" Man says, imagine trying to have a conversation, but your own voice is delayed.
Exactly, dude.
It too with headphones. It's really annoying and difficult to talk in the first place.
Okay, we're gonna test something here. This is a test currently of the 1 second or so delay of how it would be when I hear myself a delay. I don't think I can. It's so hard to focus. First of all, on what I'm saying. It's so hard to because first of all, I'm interrupting myself when I'm trying to speak. First of all, I'm interrupting myself when I'm trying to speak. First of all, I'm interrupting. Guys, from a jury's perspective, I mean from a judge's perspective, first-hand experiencing what just happened there, I think it would be pretty difficult, the hearing aspect. But would it repeat? No, it wouldn't repeat. No, it would just do once. It would just be delayed. Not an accurate test? You're right.
I would just remove my ears at this point.
You talking cut the ear off, or are you talking get in there? Because I think you'd have to destroy some eardrums to stop the hearing. Can you stop breaking the space-time continuity? Sorry. All right, guys, I'm gonna get some new members up here. Thank you for participating. Let's see who else we got. Any talking points from the jury? I want to hear some talking points in favor of hearing being the worst one. We've got to hear what people are thinking about this whole thing. Because why do you think hearing would be worse? I think you could probably get over that eventually.
Young_Trustboy_B says, imagine you go to the karaoke and you start singing 10 seconds to song started.
The humiliation you would feel. That is a very good point from team hearing being worse. You would never be able to do karaoke again. Which, by the way, I've never done karaoke, no desire to. But, I mean, if you wanted to, that's out of the question. Unless you were able to time it and sing it like a little early.
P0 Khaled says, nobody is going to sit there and wait 10 whole seance for you to respond to what
God, it keeps happening at the same time.
Talking about.
Hearing would be worse because you could never keep up any conversation. Imagine a job interview. Yeah, they would just think you're high all the time. They would think you're high all the time. They'd be like, why is this dude... And dude, you know what? They would be asking a question. They'd be like, so where do you see yourself? And you'd be trying to answer preemptively so that you sound like you don't have this condition. And you're like, yeah, I had 10 years of experience in the field. And they're like, why would you hide it? I don't know. Why would you not? That's true. I guess I would just tell people about my condition. I guess I wouldn't try to hide it. They'd probably be okay with it. God, what a weird condition that would be. I don't think any doctors have had a case of that happening, have they? What was that last jury message, please? I didn't hear what it was. God, a lot of comedy stuff would be ruined. You couldn't watch funny movies.
P0 Khaled says, nobody is going to sit there and wait 10 whole seances for you to respond to what they say. WTF are you talking about?
Yeah, in today's fast-moving society, guys, someone asks you a question, you're not already in the process of responding, they're going to get bored and tired. They're going to probably leave you in the dirt. Yeah.
Exactly. People would be too bored to respond to anything you say, and you couldn't get anywhere.
Let's hear another good downside of hearing from the jury here.
Robert Crow says, okay, so, hearing delay, you go to cross the road, and someone shouts, don't cross the road, a CAR is coming, but you don't hear them or the car, so you walk onto the road, and then you get hit by the car.
Yeah, guys. You ever think about that? Exactly my point. What happens if you're going across the road, and then someone said, look out, a car is coming, and then you start crossing the road, but you're 10 seconds delayed, so you don't hear it, so you get hit by the car? Look both ways. What the fuck? Oh. Yeah, guys, this argument is falling apart a little bit. A few people are pointing out that you could look both ways before crossing the road. Guys, team hearing is team hearing's not convincing me. Okay, I'm gonna rapid fire get some people from team hearing. Flamingo River, thank you. Let's see what we've got here. Pockled. Wait, you had that message read out just a second ago. Pockled, why do you think hearing is worse? That wasn't that message that you...
man.
What are you thinking? What do you bring to this courtroom today?
You'd never be able to hold a conversation, no job, no partner.
I do think it would be hard to hold a conversation with somebody who does not understand, but you explain to them and you just say, hey, I'm hearing 10 seconds behind. This is just me. This is who I am. And I think, you know what? They would probably be cool with that. Pockled.
How many people would actually put up with that and not just trick you somehow?
How are they going to trick me? Tell me there's a... I don't know. How would they trick you? Give me one example of how somebody might trick me.
Ick man lure you into some kind of dangerous situation.
Lure you into a dangerous situation. But what are the... I'm trying to picture this situation. What, you're saying they're like, hey buddy. And you're just sitting there. You don't hear it for 10 seconds. You hear, hey buddy. You're like, what? And you see his mouth moving and you're like, oh, he's saying something. And he's like...
You'd never be able to hear gunshots.
He says, there's gunshots over there. And then 10 seconds pass and I'm like... Oh yeah, I'd heard him.
Before you know it.
You're saying... I don't think this is a great argument. I don't think there's a way to exploit this to like... scam you or anything. I'm thinking of like trying to use my knowledge of RuneScape scamming.
Hey man, you asked what I think at high RN.
The court says if you ordered food and someone's called your name, you'd wait 10 seconds for the food. You'd then go grab food after 10 seconds and they'd be suspicious. Explaining your condition would be SUS too.
Yeah, I do think also if you're waiting to pick up your food and they called your name and you just, yeah, that would be a little suspicious looking, I guess. I just don't think that makes the 1 second eyesight delay worse. Like, here's the thing about the hearing delay versus the eyesight delay, is all the things from the hearing delay is just like...
1 second isn't that long though.
1 second for eyesight? Pockled, I want you to sit here. I know you're high, so I'm gonna try to not freak you out and give you a bad trip here. What'd you take?
1 second versus 10 seconds?
1 second eyesight versus 10 second hearing. Think about eyesight. Think about how many times you use your eyesight to go like do something. And keep in mind, it wouldn't just be that you're blind and you just are able to function blind. It would be that you have a 1 second eyesight delay. Everything you do, you feel yourself doing it, and then a second passes before you see it. It would be like this. I just felt myself move, now I move. It would be so
A 10-second hearing delay would be insanely disorienting.
I'd be walking around like this and my eyes were all a second behind. Hearing delay would be disorienting. That would be disorienting too, but...
Your ears are how your body creates a sense of balance.
No, my tail... No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking, guys. I don't know why I said that. I'm gonna get some more people from Team No up here. I don't know why I did that.
Eluvia says, you would look like a fool if you're still dancing 10 seconds after the song ends.
But, listen, everything you guys from Team Hearing are giving me is you would be put in some embarrassing situations at some times. Guys, I'm already put in embarrassing situations every day of my life, okay? I think I can deal with a little more. Like, so what, I'm dancing a little after...
Salami_Bulon says, going through TSA would be awful. They would think you're gonna do something SUS.
For what? What is that, for hearing or for eyesight? I think so many of the social situations that come up from the eyesight thing would be like, you'd just be able to say, sorry, I hear 10 seconds behind. I have a condition. But the eyesight one, like the amount of times my eyesight prevented me from getting killed, guys, probably once or twice a week. Driving down the street, crossing the road, like dodging someone throwing something at me. You walk off a cliff? It's just what kind of cliff is gonna surprise you by that much, dude? If I'm on the top of a cliff, I'll probably realize that I'm sort of close to the edge.
Motley Munchin says, a cop tells you to put your hands up and you don't hear it till 10 seconds later? Dead.
True. That is true. But that's going off the assumption that you don't realize, like, dude, if I saw like the cops coming up, I'd be like, I've got a condition where I can hear everything 10 seconds too late. And then they'd be like, then I would hear that put your hands up thing. No, I'd probably be shot 10 times over by then. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I'll give you that, team hearing. You've given me one situation where that can sort of, I can understand where you're coming from. No, but you're right, because I don't think that would happen. I don't think that would happen. Maybe it would. Foxhole Man, what do you got for me? Why do you think the 10-second hearing delay is worse than a 1-second sight delay? He's mulling it over. Foxhole Man? Guys, maybe he's got that 10-second hearing delay. Give him a sec. Alright, I'm gonna chunk one of these mallets at him, I guess.
I Can Be Lemon says, you walk in the forest and you step on a mean snake, bro.
Is that for the hearing or the sight? I don't... You've got to start giving more context to which side you're talking about for your arguments. Alright, I'm getting Foxhole Man out of here. Feral... You quiet. Feral Rabid Crow. Why do you think team hearing 10-second hearing delay is worse? Man, maybe a lot of people do have this 10-second hearing condition. Feral Rabid Crow? It's getting worse, guys. Oh my god, this might be a 35-second hearing delay.
Okay, so hey, Reese, the thing.
Yes?
You didn't hear me sneak up on you with my comically large rubber mallet.
You're right. I didn't hear that. Oh my god. This guy's good. If this guy had a big comically large rubber mallet and he was sneaking up with little clown shoes squeaking...
Don't turn around.
Ow! Movie magic, guys. It was just the plastic mallet.
I gotcha.
Yeah, okay, guys. I think it's time to call it here. Let's ask the jury one last time. Which would be worse?
Perfect, Your Highness.
I mean, hey, you've got a really good point there. That changed a lot. Let's narrow in your voting. Amend your votes if they need to be amended. Which is worse, a 10-second hearing delay or a 1-second eyesight delay? Guys, it is looking like eyesight might be the one.
Hearing.
Not from you. We know what you think. It's looking like eyesight. It is looking like eyesight. Guys, I'm gonna bang my hammer and let that be the end of it.
I have Beeb let down.
Feral Rabid Crow, I'm sorry. The points just weren't adding up for me. I mean, I've yet to hear something that has really changed my mind. Or, guys, as you can see, the jury's mind. We've got 341 to 219 think. Beeb. Beeb. There's someone in chat called Undbeebs.
Do it for me, guys.
Guys, does this really sad sounding dude over here make you change your mind and want to say exclamation hearing? He's real upset about it. No.
Sad face.
He's crying. Sorry, guys. You weren't able to win the hearts of the jury. Looks like Eyesight's going to be our winner here.
Heart been broke
what a
so
cruel
many
world.
times.
And with that, I bang my hammer. Wait, zoom out so you can see it. Let's get some good banging going. Alright. In vote. Thank you, guys.
Rip Bozo.
Auto-click bang? Wait a second, guys. We're gonna test something right here on this fine evening. Macros. Clicky. Guys, I've got a macro called Clicky. I'm pretty sure. Ow! Take your headphones out. Turn your streams down. Alright, let's disable that from ever happening again. We'll keep our hammer bangs at a reasonable rate from now on, guys. Sorry. Alright, let's see our next debate, our topic of debate will be. Let me mark that one out. Anybody got any good ones that you've been brewing up? Or shall I refer to the list? Thanks, Grandma. What's tastier, drywall or paper? Were any of you guys paper eaters? Wait, what if we use this to get to the bottom of why paper eaters were a thing? Because I've been wondering that. Like, I didn't eat paper. I wasn't a paper dude. But do you know there were a bunch of kids out there eating handfuls of paper? Dude, Unbeebs, thank you very much for 10 gifted subs. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you everybody for the subs and bits. I appreciate it. It's hard to keep up on nights like this where it's like, you know, something kind of going on. But I appreciate everyone. Okay, how would we word this paper question? Because I really do want to have a conversation about this. What would we do to make it like a discussion? Have you ever eaten paper? Just did you used to eat paper as a kid? Dirt? Wait, did any of you here eat dirt? Please do not tell me you ate dirt as a kid. We had some people eat dirt? Why? Oh my god, ugh, that sends like a chill up my spine, dude. Imagine like putting a handful of dirt in your mouth and being like... Ugh. Is it weird to eat paper? Yeah, okay. But see, okay, if I word this as, is it weird to eat paper? I think a lot of paper eaters, who were paper eaters as a kid, would say, well, now I know it's weird, but I didn't back then. So we gotta word it in a way where it's like, why did you justify it as a kid? You know? I still eat paper. Wait. Are there any people in here right now that's currently to this day eat paper? I have got to have a word. I've got to have a word with these people. All right, they said... Oh my god, guys, one of my mods, I don't know if I should out him. One of my mods said they would draw pictures of food in class and eat them. I don't know if I should out him. I don't know. Lots of people apparently did that. Dude, I think we've got... Okay, here's what I think we have to do. I think we have to be vague about it. Not say, do you think it's weird? Because obviously, people, there are going to be crossover where people are paper eaters and they think it's weird. But we just have to... We got to have some discussion about this, like, ASAP. Did you eat paper as a kid? Why? Maybe... Dude, Outriders, thank you. Thanks so much for the 10 gifted subs, dude. Just do the thing already. We're doing this. What do you think? This is not a YouTube video. We're doing the thing actively every second that we're sitting here. Outriders, thank you, dude. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. And Anonymous for the gifted sub. Thank you a lot. Okay. But see, this isn't a hypothetical debate. This is just talking about... Do you guys think it makes sense to phrase it as... Wait, did you think it was weird to eat paper as a child? Well, no, we can't word it as should you or do you think it's weird, I think, because the second we do that, then it's like, it doesn't give us a truthful answer. What I'm wanting to know, I just wanted to discuss eating paper. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just say, did you eat paper as a kid? Let's just have some discussions. We'll see how this goes, and then we can maybe further narrow it in. Did you eat paper as a kid? Exclamation yes, exclamation no. Oh my god! This is so much more than I was expecting. Guys, we have tapped into a subset of people that I didn't even know existed, walking among us in this very chat room. Don't lie, say yes. Okay, listen, I've eaten paper. I'll give you a little context. I've eaten paper before. But it's not what you might be thinking, okay? If I was polled this question, did you eat paper as a kid, I would push no. Because my situation was, we got some ice cream, we were on our way home, it was dark in the car, I'm just eating the freaking hell out of this ice cream, and eat everything, eat the ice cream in the cone, and I'm done. And then we get there, we turn the lights on in the car, and my little brother's got his ice cream. He's holding it like this, and since he just ate slow as hell, it's all melted, running down his hand. But I see something, guys. Wrapped around that cone was a little piece of paper. There was paper around the cone, and I ate the entire damn thing. So, if you were gonna ask me if I ate paper, the answer is no. I did not eat paper as a kid. I have before, but that was not something I did recreationally. I don't think that counts. Yeah, everybody's eaten a little paper before. Alright. We've got... Jesus, this split, dude. This split is ridiculous. Oh my god. We've got almost a half and half.
I don't need to defend myself. I'm the normal one here.
Yeah, I guess, you know what? This is really just like...
My first paper eating experience was snacking on a piece of paper while bored at church as a kid. Never looked back.
Guys, I'm now realizing what we're doing here. Because you bring up such a good point. The no's, I don't need to hear anything from you. I don't need to hear anything at all. I'm just talking to the yeses. I'm just like getting like in the mind of the paper eaters. So
I want to clarify that I still eat paper and am not ashamed.
Really? Really?
I'll just sit here and listen.
Yeah, I mean, make yourself at home. Feel free to eat some pizza, not the box. Matroid, what is it about eating paper? Like, is that good for you?
Look quite good.
Is that bad for you?
Yes.
Okay, I want...
Boosts testosterone.
Prove it right now. Eat a slice and tell me how it tastes.
The CDC did a study and found that paper eaters place 2 standard deviations higher on IQ than non-paper eaters.
Guys, that is true. I'm pretty stupid. That might be true. I'm pretty dumb.
Cite your sources.
They said right there, the CDC.
No.
Okay, Matroid's not going to eat paper now. Huh. Or, no deciding sources, I guess. Okay, I guess... So you're just sitting in church, and you just ate a slice, and then it's just... No going back? What is it about paper eating that is appealing?
You can evolve to higher levels of paper eating where you draw the food on it.
That's what my mod was saying! Guys, my mod said that they would draw pictures of food and then rip them out and eat them. Try it on stream? If they can convince me, maybe. My mod's typing right now. Okay, Matroid.
It will make your bones very strong.
That seems like a lie that you're trying to tell me to eat paper on stream. I'm gonna get somebody else up here.
You'll fall victim to their trap.
They could be trying to get me killed, guys. Here, let's get a couple more people up here. Alright, we've got Ava Terra on Team Yes. Ava Terra, tell me about your first paper eating experience. Just like Ben Shapiro. Tell me about your first paper eating experience.
So, like, I used to do this several times.
Okay. I guess, yeah, you know, it doesn't seem like something you would do once and then not again. Like, if you're going
Basically, what happened is that when I was a kid, we'd get cupcakes.
Oh, this might be a similar situation to my story. And let me guess, these cupcakes might have had a,
And the little lining, I'd shoot it like gum.
There it is. There it is. And so,
Like, I knew I wasn't supposed to eat, but...
And see, that's the thing. That's part of...
It tasted good not going to lie.
That's probably part of what makes it so appealing, is like... It's like, I'm not supposed to eat this paper. Okay, now here's my question for you, Ava Tara. Do you still eat paper to this day? Or did you give up the paper munching? It's fiber in your diet? I guess there's nothing wrong with it.
I gave it up because I'm a conformist, sadly.
God, that's so heartbreaking too. You know? You're into paper eating and then you just... Too many people find it weird. And see, you're finding out here today just how many brothers and sisters you've got in this jury. What kind of paper tastes the best? Yeah, I mean, Ava Tara, you said you focused on the cupcake paper.
If I wasn't a shamer like some of those no voters, they'd probably eat it too.
Majority yes? You're right. We are a majority yes. Man, alright. I'm going to hear a little bit more from other people, Ava Tara. Thank you for your story. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's see what else we've got.
See, Your Highness.
Brandon just having a think over there. Not Cat Kid. A paper eater. What's your first paper eating experience?
Hello, Your Honor.
Your Highness to you, but hello. Welcome to court. Yeah, a lot of people say it's a texture thing.
I was in class and I eat the paper.
Man, you know, guys, I feel like a lot of these like origin stories are probably gonna
Dog.
like a dog. I feel like a lot of these origin stories are gonna be similar, dude. Like just being a kid, being bored somewhere, and you just fucking start eating the paper. Man. And so what was your go-to? You like notebook paper? Maybe like a post-it card, a post-it note?
It kinda dissolves in your mouth like cotton candy.
I imagine it would be... They made edible paper? One sec, guys. They have edible paper. $121 for a 24-pack?
Any paper I can get my hands on, I'd eat.
Toilet paper?
Yes, toilet paper.
Do you still eat paper to this day?
Paper feels about being eaten.
Yeah, you know.
예하오. 땡스 포 서브스크라이빙 파트너.
Do you eat paper to this day?
Yes, I love paper.
You're lying to me. How many... Dude, I don't...
I'm eating some right now.
No, you're not! What are you munching on? Guys, I've got a lot of paper around me. I could give this a shot.
Paper from my printer.
I just spit everywhere, dude. You just grab a 9x18 or whatever the hell those stupid... You just grab a white slice of paper from the printer? 8.5 by 11.
Do it, Charborg. Embrace the paper.
Guys, I'm like convinced. I'm gonna listen to what other people got to say. I'm convinced you're just trying to get me to eat paper on stream. Vincello, you used to eat paper as a kid, so I'm being told. Tell me your first paper eating experience. Quiet. I'm making up my mind about what I'm going to be eating here in a minute.
I don't see why eating paper is bad when we eat bark in survival situations.
Let's start by hearing your credentials. Your experience with paper eating. What was your first little bite?
I got lost in a forest and decided to eat the survival.
That's made up. That's made up. You're not a paper eater. You just lied in this court. And you know what? God saw it.
I'm not joking. I was in Cub Scouts.
No, you did not eat. You're telling me you were lost.
If you actually got lost in the forest, you'd eat the rocks first.
Or hunt a fish or a... like a, I don't know, find a little roly-poly? I want you to swear on that beautiful flag right behind me.
I was 9. How would I hunt fish?
Were you actually lost? Were you lost enough to eat, like to actually eat paper? Why? Were you, what? No, were you lost like hours to where you were like starting to get hungry and it was a survival situation, or you just decided to eat paper? Was this a 20-minute?
No, it was like 30 minutes and I got nervous.
Just start panicking, dude. You lose your mom in Walmart. You can't find her. You last saw her on aisle 9.
I eat stuff when I'm nervous.
You just start frantically ripping sheets off of notebooks in the paper aisle. Man. And so do you eat paper to this day? Was this the start of your was it your origin story, or do you just give it up? Was it just a one-time thing? I'm like starting to believe.
I swear by the flag of this blessed country that I am a paper eater.
To this day. You hear that, America?
Why is the paper on your table left untouched then?
Yeah, how about you have a bite right now? A very good point. I want to see you eat a slice of that.
The last guy's saliva is all over it.
Then rip a sheet off from that little binder over there. What? Unless you're lying and you're not a paper, but you're not a...
Eats entire binder.
Well, there you have it. A paper eater. Pog!
I'm speechless.
I don't know what to say.
Hog.
Alright, let's get a couple more up here. Thank you, Vincello, for your paper story. We've got Prickle Pantsu. Tell me about your first paper reading story. It's okay, guys. Give him a second. Yeah, they've got that 10-second...
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but I ate paper because I was poor.
Out of necessity. I'm sorry to hear that. Is this a habit that carried over to this day? You still do it?
I am much better off now.
So we've got all type of paper eaters here on this evening. We've got people who did it recreationally. We've got people who did it out of necessity. And we've got one person who just decided that they were lost for a couple minutes and they needed to start eating just everything. Man, that's so interesting. There's so many different types of paper eaters.
I fear that others on this poll are just being honest.
Just being honest. Wait. Are just not being honest?
I have heard other kinds ate paper.
I've heard other kinds ate paper.
And even tissues.
Okay, let's hear from the jury. Are there any messages that you guys have seen that are interesting origin story for the paper eating or something? I'm just so surprised about hearing everyone's paper eating stories.
Red Crash 2000 says, if you eat a book, you absorb the knowledge.
And see, I could have gone my whole life without knowing that. There's so much about this beautiful world that I just didn't even consider. Man. You know what? I think I'm gonna have a slice. Let's hear from someone else in the jury while I'm finding a nice little piece.
Contended Mike 88 says, pesticides in paper.
Guys, I'm starting to get cold feet. Is that true? Maybe I'll get one of the kinds that's like natural. Alright guys.
I think it'll be alright.
This one's got little like flowers and fruits on it, so I think it's pretty natural. It's like a grass-fed type.
If you don't do it regularly.
Yeah. We'll have a bite. I'm gonna get someone else here from Team Yes and hear their paper eating story. Squeezy, tell me about the first time you ate paper.
You're Heinz.
Yes? Fear not, do not be afraid. No need to cower.
I was in school as a young one, and I decided.
That's how it seems to be a common trend, guys. God, just so innocent. So young.
To chew on the paper. I chewed many things.
I did also chew a lot of things, guys. Oh my god, oh no! Guys, I chewed a lot of things. I wasn't a paper eater, I was a pencil chewer. And I chewed on erasers. Oh, I chewed on a lot of stuff. I am so humiliated, dude.
Your Highness, I ate paper from the straw I got from McDonald's earlier today.
Wait, you still practice? Interesting. Yeah, guys, I was a pencil chewer and eraser chewer. I didn't graduate to paper, but
I'm a humble paper-eating woman who...
Wow. You know what, guys?
Paper.
Loves paper. If you can't beat them, I say you join them. Maybe I shouldn't eat the ink. Maybe I should not eat the ink part. Too small? What, you want me to eat the whole damn thing?
Roblox says, Your Highness, if you eat that paper, I'll be filing a formal complaint with the state.
Oh, what are they gonna do? Remove my license? My judging license? What if I was up here eating, I don't know, a donut? How is that any different? There are people eating papers all among... There are paper eaters who live and walk among us every day.
You can't knock it without trying it. The textures without compare.
And you know what? I say let them walk among us. I say, we don't be so quick to judge.
You are a kind and noble lord.
What if it just cut to like an ambulance, like loading me up? Ugh. Ugh, it got really slimy. It feels like gum, but hard.
Your body can't take the paper, it's rejecting it.
Keep it down. Keep it down. Now it feels like mashed potatoes.
I'll give you my paper eater antibodies.
Inject them. I gotta spit it out. Oh guys, I gotta spit it
I'll
out.
save you, Your Highness.
I gotta spit it out. Oh, that's so gross. It got so gummy. I'm just kidding. That was gross. Guys, I didn't like that much at all. I will say, I really wanted to like it. It just got really, like, mushy.
I am impressed you were willing to extend such an olive branch.
And, you know, I don't hate you guys. You know, I don't want you to die or anything. I just will say I don't agree with the paper eating. It's just kind of gross. Season it next time? What, I put, like, what, I draw on it first? Man, you know what? I didn't draw some food on it like they were saying that they did. God, here's my experience, guys. It got really mushy and broke apart, and then it started sticking to my teeth in different places.
Forgot to try the chicken nugget.
Yeah, I could have drawn like a pizza slice or chicken nugget or something, or hot dog. That's the experience? Man, I really didn't like it. It's like a sensation that makes me feel so gross. It's actually good. Print your paper and draw food. You think I got the wrong kind? That was the appetizer. We've got a printer paper in 1 minute. I'm gonna get somebody else up here while I'm getting this paper. Squeezy, thank you. We've got Pyramidion. Tell us about your first paper eating experience while I'm gone.
Paper eat paper, loving paper eat. And paper.
Guys, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I just genuinely couldn't find the printer paper. Like, I went to our printer. I'm not lying, and I swear. I went to our printer, and there was just none there, and I looked all around. Yeah, someone...
Enough said, but I will go on. On a dark, stormy night.
What did I miss? You missed... They told the most valid and based and amazing story?
Thanks for subscribing, partner.
Yeah, someone broke into my house and ate all my computer paper, I think. Pyramidion, thank you for sharing. Alright, guys. I guess that's all with the paper discussion.
When the clouds still roared, or something spooky.
I'm out of the loop here. I'm not sure what we're catching up on. Guys, thank you for sharing. Both of you. Wait. Were there any other from the jury, any other paper eating moments that were worth sharing?
Oh no.
Boholian says, no arguments in this question. This is now just a paper eater anonymous meet.
I know.
What does that mean?
See, and the good thing about this, guys, is that we make up the rules in this courtroom. You know, I could put a hat on, you know? I can do whatever.
Simply do not eat paper, you dink. Sir Fishman Highness.
Chicken foot. This is my mod. Oh, what, so you anti-paper eating? Don't call me a dink.
If I could have your thoughts, yeah, I eat chocolate.
Oh, there you have it, guys. Looks like we got a normie over here who doesn't eat paper. Actually, no, you're not the normie, because the norm is to eat paper. Apparently. Guys, I really
have to eat water bottle caps.
I know, guys, I'm a big chewer. I love chewing on stuff. What was I saying? Were there any other points from the jury, or are we gonna move on?
I asked Bing to write me a recipe using printer paper, and it got mad at me.
Juby97 says, majority paper eaters that will vote for a Sasquatch in 2024.
Yeah, I wonder if Sasquatch would eat paper. Or if he would stick mostly to villagers and people who venture out into his woods. Paper, said someone. Did you see that? Alright, guys, I want to put this to rest.
We eat water bottle
Rocklock
caps here.
says, the integrity of this court has been destroyed.
Okay, come on. Listen, what? I can't talk to the jury every once in a while? This wasn't a debate. This one was I just wanted to hear why the hell people ate paper. And I learned a lot today, and I'm very happy I did. I'm ending the vote.
You are Highness Fishman.
Thank you, dude.
This just is biased. Or judge, rather.
Chickenfoot, I'll unmod you. I'll do it.
Do it, I dare you.
What are the numbers after your name?
Oh my god, he actually did it.
I don't know what the numbers are after the name.
Finally, I'm free.
May that be a lesson. Alright, guys, next topic. Like I said, that one was not a debate of any sort. I wanted to learn a little bit about my chat room. And God, learn I did. Some things I just wish I didn't learn. Paper eaters versus plastic eaters? Dude, no, I ate a lot of... I just loved chewing on things when I was a kid. And I'm just so kind of embarrassed now. Okay, wait. Okay, this is another one that... We're not going to have a full debate. Do not even get it twisted. Did you chew on pencils as a kid? This is just a poll. I just want to see where my people are. Yes, exclamation yes or exclamation no. Did you chew on pencils? Exclamation yes or exclamation no. Oh, thank God. Guys, you have no idea how the relief that just swept over my entire body. This is another paper situation. And it's very even. And God, can you imagine if it was like 98% no? All right, what's in this? Thank goodness. Thank freaking goodness. I'm running out of hammers today. Alright, we gotta come up with a new hypothetical. Let's refer to the list. Anybody got anything good? Would you rathers, I think... Would you rathers could be cool, but... No, you only have to type justice once and then be active in chat, I'm pretty sure is how it works. No, we can't be on the paper talk anymore, dude. We've got to quit the paper talk. Okay, let's do... This is one that, if you watch Tomato, I'm sure he's brought this up a couple times. Apparently this is, like, sort of... renowned. It's the burger sewer thing, guys. The sewer burger. I don't know the lore and the context of this. I'm not entirely sure. But apparently this is something that gets pretty heated over there. Is this how the hypothetical? Is this how it goes? Am I typing this correctly? Would it be okay to eat a burger you found in the sewer if it was wrapped nicely and in a bag? That's correct? Okay. Begin voting, guys. I'm stealing this one from Tomato, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Whatever the I don't know what the context originally was for why he was wondering this or asking this. Lots of no's. Lots of no's. Would it be okay to eat a burger you found in the sewer if it was wrapped nicely and in a bag?
Stinky sewer fumes I recon.
You recon it? You going down there with some binoculars? Yep. There's some stinky sewer fumes. If it has pickles. So if it had...
Only if it has pickles.
Yeah, that is true, guys, because my order's pretty the same every time I go get a burger. It's mayonnaise and onion and cheese. That's what I gotta have on my burger. So maybe if, I don't know, for me, if they put pickles on, I might not.
Pickles? EW.
Okay, come on. We're not gonna get caught up on the whether or not I have pickles, okay? Let's hear why you do not think it would be okay to eat a sewer burger. Jade Drake.
Well, you want to tussle?
Guys, no fighting in the courtroom. Maybe a little. Wednesday, can we code a fight mechanic where they can kill each other and stab each other to death? Maybe like they can death roll and then the loser goes and stabs the other one. That might be good. But not yet, because it...
sewer food would be risky business.
And that is a point that's worth considering.
That we're all not sewer and paper eaters.
I'm just trying to think, guys, because...
Who knows what nasty creatures are looking for a snack down there?
Yeah, you might run into a crocodile or like a little ghoul or something. What kind of beasts live in the sewer? Mario.
Not if I get to it first.
Rats and cockroaches and whatnot. They can chew through paper too.
No, keep in mind. The hypothetical is, this burger is nicely wrapped and in a bag. In a little bag.
Or
Paper bag.
me, smiley face.
They are
Stop, you're
probably
scaring
still
me.
tasty.
Wow, very few yeses. And guys, just for context, Tomato, did he... What did Tomato think? Tomato would eat the sewer burger? He would.
Cockroaches might be tasty.
Guys, you can eat cockroaches on your own time. Right now, we're talking about the sewer burger. And you know what? We might... Wait, any cockroach eaters? Did anyone eat cockroaches as a
And
kid?
if the rat gets cooked, that would be good too.
That's like a whole city worth of sewer down there.
Bro, what the fuck? Okay, I guess not. Just wondering. Okay, I'm just wondering. Anyway. Let's hear from the jury. Did we have any good points brought up for why or why not this would be a good idea?
Uncle Bertram says, what if you took some poor sewer man's dinner?
Something to consider. You know, there's a bunch of, you know, sewer folk down there. Molemen. Like, I don't know, creepy gators. You have to... Could you deal with the fact that you might be taking someone's sewer burger? Guys, that's called stealing. And that's bad. You do go to hell probably for doing that.
Is there 2 burgers?
Just the one. It's just one burger. Do you take it? I mean, it is abandoned, seemingly. No one's around. You could just walk up and take it.
Might not be worth the 20 diseases.
So wait, are you swapping sides? Because you...
Still tasty, though.
It would be very tasty, probably. Guys, and here's the thing. I'm sure it'll be yummy. But it's also in a sewer. It's like in a damn sewer. Alright, I'm gonna get some...
How old is burger? When did it get there?
Guys, are we going off the assumption that this burger's still a little warm?
I would eat
Yeah.
anything I could get.
Yeah, sure. We'll say it's just still got some warmth. It's not going to be like a year or something. Like you could tell it's been put there recently. But it's in the freaking sewer. It's sitting on a dookie floor.
Sizzling.
Sizzling even. Guys, the burger could be sizzling. But it's in a bag? Yeah, but it's a paper bag.
I would prefer garbage burger to sewer burger.
It's in a bag.
It's in a bag. I think, you know, I would prefer regular burger to sewer burger. But that's not the question. We're talking specifically on the sewer burger in this case. Garbage burger, though, that does bring up some great conversation topics. Well, you just need to... Dude, you ate paper, I bet. Those paper eaters, there's something else. Alright, I'm gonna get some new people up here and we'll see what they think.
Give it a better taste.
Oh, come on, that's yucky. No, that would not. Alright, do we have any points from chat? I mean from, sorry, the jury. Any conversation topics? God, I just don't understand these yesers.
Uncle Bertram says, don't tell the paper eaters what the bag is made of.
Hello, Your Highness.
Hello, Switchy. Welcome to court. And, Psy Monkey.
Ilala says, are you gonna wash your hands first or eat it right there?
I would say your hands are clean.
Oh my god.
I would say your hands are clean.
Does the burger smell of sewer slash?
Slash what? Smell of sewer slash... Let's wait. They're not finished with their sentence, guys.
poop.
I think it. Guys, what was the hypothetical? Like, what is tomato hypothetical?
There are simply too many questions. How did the burger get in the sewer?
I don't think you'll ever have an answer to that.
The burger? Was feces involved?
I am not completely sure the involvement that feces had with the burger. I will say, you inspecting it, it looks seemingly nice. The burger seems seemingly fine. I'm gonna say also, it does smell like poop and sewer. You're in a sewer. I'm gonna say.
If it's a safe-looking burger, I would eat it.
Yeah, I think if you could crack it open and like see that there wasn't anything on the burger, like seeing that nothing leaked through the bag, maybe. I still think it's just. I think even having a burger down in the sewer, you've got dookie particles.
That's how you get disease.
Yeah, emanating around the burger. You've got a dookie stink aura. Okay, guys, we're getting this just in. Tomato said the question that they were arguing originally. The burger is perfectly clean, has not been tampered with, and is freshly made. So, you're not gonna find a turd. You're not gonna find I don't know, anything in it. Whoa, the yesers are rising. The yesers are rising like crazy.
Well, then I would eat it.
I would devour that monster bird.
All right, Psy Monkey, you better switch sides. One sec, guys. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Sorry, folks.
Ow.
All right, I'm back. Grim Reaper 80,000. Very sorry. You would not eat the sewer burger. Do you care to elaborate? What's going on in that little mind of yours? Yeah, I think eating anything. I think even if you brought a hamburger down there, I think if you brought it down there, just the fact that you were sitting there in the sewer holding this little apple.
It smells.
Exactly. You're gonna go for a bite, get a big old whiff of dookie. It's just not a good environment to be eating a burger. But that being said, what if you brought it out of the sewer and just ate it out there? Could you do that? See? You could just leave with it. Man.
The taste is what matters.
But it was sitting on a sewer floor. Man, but it was sitting in a sewer floor. Paper bag? Yeah, and see, the thing about it is, I would imagine it seems perfectly fine. No visible dookie. It just seems totally fine. You just found it in a sewer. I don't know, that's really tough. Let's hear from the jury. Do we have any good points brought up by the jury? Have we determined?
Take it out of the sewer first. If I wanted to eat it, I don't want some old sewer man fighting me for it.
Janie B says, if it's in your way in the middle of a sewer, it's clearly a key item you need for a later event. Especially if it's
Burger
100% clean. You can't deny that.
I would at least, no matter what, no matter me deciding to eat it or not, I would definitely take the burger. I would take it.
Questberg obtained.
Questberg. Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about the nature of this burger.
Your
It
Highness,
would seem
how about
important.
you?
What would I do? Well, I'm making up my mind. I'm gonna do what the beautiful people of this jury decide. And so far, it's looking like it was
Spud says,
not okay.
I've had worse.
Sput says I've had worse. Sput, really quick, did you eat paper as a kid? I bet Sput ate paper. Oh my god. He said, yeah, by the sheet.
Spot says, yeah, by the sheet.
Man. You know, Spot, I pulled it earlier. Half of my chat was paper eaters as a kid. Half of them. That's a lot. And you know what? Everybody was having these crazy origin stories. Which side am I on? I was not a paper eater.
What
but
type of burger is it?
we'll say cheeseburger. And you know, probably got... I'm going to say just no condiments, just so that doesn't dissuade anybody, because I know some people are really picky about mayonnaise and mustard. I'd say it's just a perfectly reasonable cheeseburger.
Cheeseburgers are loved by many.
Okay, I'll eat it then.
All right,
I
dude.
would eat it.
We've got more and more people coming to side. Yes. Wow. Let's amend the vote a little bit here, guys. If your mind has changed, make sure to change it so the polls are accurate. Would it be okay to eat a burger you found in the sewer if it was wrapped nicely and in a bag? Yes or no? Saw an exclamation capital node right there. Oh, we've just got... This is not people changing sides. We've just got more people coming in and saying no. I saw for a while there that the yeses was not lowering and the no's was rising.
You can't deny that sweet, sweet burg.
God, and the way you talk about it really makes me want to get a...
Horseshoe_art says, it's called hunting. Hello, your highness.
Hunting? Hello, Admiral. Admiral Kota. Untampered with, wrapped, freshly made burger. But guys, you found it in the sewer. Yes, it appears to not be tampered with, but this damn thing was in the sewer.
Volvo says, it's barely okay to eat most burgers. Already, brother, that sewer isn't changing much.
With melty cheese.
That is true. We've got, I mean, like, burgers are not the healthiest thing. But what if there's, like, guys, what if, imagine for me, 1 second, one single dookie particle. Just imagine a dookie particle. And it goes and it travels its way and lands on it.
The environment itself puts it off my list. Does it have the receipt?
Does it have the receipt? Yes. Okay, yeah. Let's pretend that it's got the receipt and it says it was made not even an hour, like 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Like, this is a fresh, brand new, good burger. You just found it down, sitting in the sewer. Think about the number of dookie particles. And yes, let's say you're hungry. You're not starving. You're not in any danger. It's just like there's a perfectly good-looking burger down there. It looks so good. Why am I in the sewer? I don't know. I mean, it's just where you were. Yeah, and see, the environment itself puts it off my lips. See, maybe you guys are not picturing a sewer well enough, okay? Here's what I'm going to say. Imagine for me, instead of it being in a sewer, that you're in a nasty gas station bathroom and there's just a perfectly good looking burger in a bag. I mean, can you picture that a little more now? That's kind of gross. You know what I'm saying? The reason I'm saying this is because I think a lot of people are not able to picture a sewer. Guys, I think a sewer's probably got
Still bad.
dookie on the wall. It's probably got, like, I don't know. There's a lot of particles down there you don't want to be around, probably.
Does the look of the burg make you hungrier?
I'm gonna say if you enjoy typically like the way burgies look, and it makes you hungrier if you've got
says, is it wet?
No, burgers totally fine looking. Guys, we're red squaring hard, by the way. Do a smile test. I think my internet's on its way out for the night. Dang.
Smiley face.
I think I'm gonna have to end real quick. Because the longer we go on, I think the more my internet's gonna cut out. Let's see, we've got to come up with a solution here. Still, the majority of people are saying no. Maybe we should get Tomato on at some point to argue his case, because I'm not familiar with what the case is. Because from what I've heard, Tomato is a firm yes believer. The question is it okay, not would you? Yeah. Would it be okay? Alright, I'm gonna get some new people up here. Guys, thank you. Let's hear from team, I mean, because obviously we can see why this is a grody thing. Oh, it's Slip! That's my editor's Slip! Oh no. Guys, are we... It's back? Is it back? God, we're so close to the resolution. We're gonna have to pick it up another time.
Rats haven't eaten the burger. Something must be wrong with it.
God, sorry guys. We're gonna have to be real quick. Slip, are you here? This is my editor, guys. He's a real sweetheart. No. Guys, I'm red squaring every couple seconds now. I think we're gonna have to call it. Or we'll pick this one back up, I think. I think we'll come back to this one. Court has been postponed. Court has been paused for now. My internet is screwing up. Pausing the debate. Sorry, guys. Let me close out of this. Guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry I got cut short because of the internet. It really sucks. My internet is just so awful and I can do nothing about it and I hate it. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you for all the subs and the bits. Maybe it'll be fixed tomorrow. And then maybe we can continue the debate. But I think we made a lot of good progress today. We found a lot of good things out. God, it just sucks. I hate that my internet does that. So frustrating. Completely ruins streams. Alright, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Actually, yeah, tomorrow we're doing, Kraken, Wobo, and I are doing The Forest again. So that'll be tomorrow. It'll be very fun. And I guess that's all. More bee sliding? Guys, they canceled bee sliding. Bee sliding is gone. Unfortunately. Yeah, they patched it. Alright. Everyone, I'm gonna raid Kraken. Oh. Tuck that behind the ear. Raid message, just say hi, smile, and be a sweetheart about it. My granny wig is falling apart. Yeah, kind of. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Sorry it got cut short, but we'll resume the sewer burger debate and we'll get to the bottom of it. We will get to the bottom. 3 hours ain't short. I mean, like, cutting it short in the middle of something because of my damn internet. All right. Goodbye, everybody.